starting to organize the RV, which means that I have to start organizing our clothes. This is what I'm working with. We have these awesome IKEA closets full of clothes. We did get rid of a lot of clothes, but we are going to try to fit it into some of these little guys. So right now I'm kind of organizing piles, what I want to bring, what I don't want to bring. We do not leave for another 2 weeks, and you know, we're having parties and we're having different little things, so I want to make sure I have my stuff readily available if I need them. But I also want to make sure that, you know, what I want to bring actually fits. I got these containers from the Dollar Tree. So I got 6 of these for the RV. I'm starting to roll my tops into them. This is pretty big. I'm gonna try to get some of my winter stuff in here just for storage and kind of switching it out. I also have to figure out where I'm putting these jackets. I do want to take a good amount of jackets just because I get cold quickly. And then, like I said, I have this little bit. Now Alec has this, and then he also has stuff in here. A lot of this stuff is work related. Like all of this is for his work here, which he's no longer gonna have. So he needs to figure out what he wants to take from here. My winter stuff is comfortably fitting on just half of this container. This thing is massive, but this side will be for Alec's winter stuff, and we will be storing this in the back bed of our truck. I'm excited to be able to take this stuff so that I don't freeze my little bum off when we are traveling. Able to comfortably fit all of my little pants and shorts and little bits that I need for clothing in these. So those will look really good and fit really well in the cabinets on the sides of the bed. They're midnight on Wednesday night. We leave Friday morning. We've been packing all day. We had friends over, so we stopped, but we're going crazy. How are you feeling?
Good.
Today is our last day in Florida. We are packing up. It is chaos in the house, but we are finally going tomorrow. How do you feel?
Like there's a lot to do, and there's only 22 hours in the day.
Well, there you go.
We sold Natalie's car and continued to pack the remaining belongings into our work trailer to be stored at a good friend's house. Night to pack, and the next morning we said goodbye to our home of the last year, as well as goodbye to the town of our last 27 years, and said hello to the unknown of the road that was stretched out before us.
Of our trip.
Yep.
So we are going from Tampa, Florida to, where are we going?
Osceola National Forest.
So we're hoping to get a campground there. Tomorrow we were waking up early and we're going to be heading to Decatur, Georgia. I have family there, so we're gonna hang out there for the weekend. Then we're gonna go to the Georgia Traverse. So how are you feeling, Alec?
Feeling fantastic.
It's bizarre to be able to do this, and it's bizarre because we've been we've been planning this for a long time. Do you think it's like weird?
Yeah, I don't think it's fully sunk in yet.
No.
No.
No. It's good. I feel a little resistance, but I think it's gotten better with all the upgrades that you made. Stabilizers, right?
Yeah.
Stabilizers and all the little bits that you put on the car just to make it a little bit smoother has really showed its worth. And I feel a lot more comfortable because I don't feel like I'm being tugged at now.
We pulled into camp late that night and woke up early the next morning for a hot breakfast. but not early enough to get out before the thunderstorm. Well, good morning. Holy crap. How's it going? Decatur is a city just outside of Atlanta. Natalie has some family there that we were able to stay the weekend with. Near their house is a great walking path, aptly named The Path. While out on our walk, the rain caught up to us again, and we grabbed a lift back home to start making a big crock pot full of chili. What a better way to spend a rainy afternoon.
I'm making my infamous Pinterest found chili for my cousin.
On our way to Deep Hole Campground, we were greeted with one last blast of winter.
Not really expecting this, were you?
What we didn't know is that it would stick around for such a long time.
Really nice. There's no one but us in this campground. Like literally no one.
Arriving at Deep Hole Campground, the essentials were moved in the truck in preparation for a few days on the Georgia Traverse. The Georgia Traverse is comprised of Forest Service roads as well as back roads that go from east to west of North Georgia.
Alex started this last year in August 2018. I went to Michigan to visit my sister and he did this by himself. He wanted to complete it, but I think some of the roads are closed for the season and we didn't realize it. So we're gonna talk about last night. Okay, so we're in northern Georgia. We just kind of left Atlanta visiting my cousin. Alec had started the Georgia Traverse last season in August, so he wanted to continue that when he realized that we were going to go through it. Anyway, so we're going through it. We can't find a lot of openings, but we did find a nice little area where we could drive, and eventually through the night Alec found something that was on top of the mountain, and it kind of dipped in, and it had a little campsite for one camper. And so we are covered, like everything's kind of covered in snow and ice around us. Alec attempts to do this bonfire. You probably do it for like an hour and a half, right? He does it for like an hour and a half, can't get anything done, can't get anything started, tried, and finally it dried out the wood, and it finally came out of nowhere, which was great, but no one could feel their toes or the fingers. I was very uncomfortable because I couldn't feel anything. We didn't have chairs because we didn't think about it. It was just a very awkward, uncomfortable, very cold night. It was about 20 degrees, right?
Yep.
We were not prepared, and because it was marked on the map, people kept on stopping right in front of our campsite or like pulling in or creeping me out. So when we finally did go to bed, it just was creepy. I couldn't ever get to the point of being warm, which freaked me out. And so we ended up packing up our tent, our rooftop tent, and going back to the RV, which I'm very glad we did because I don't think I would have ever warmed up.
The next morning, we woke up to a very cold inside of the RV. We made the decision to go and find a diner for a hot breakfast in a nearby town. We did this to think clearly on our next move. The decision paid off, and across the street was a Tractor Supply which had a small generator on clearance. Heading home, my eye caught a sign for a swinging bridge, and what an excellent detour that was. We've made it to North Georgia. We are in Deep Hole Campground, and the benefit of camping when it's 20 degrees out is that no one else wants to. So you have the entire place to yourself. Not that it's a large campground, but it's nice. It's cozy. We're by ourselves. Last night in the camper. This morning at the moment it's 22 degrees. Probably got down to lower than 20 than last night.
Yeah, the best purchase we ever made during this trip was the generator. It's only 5 days in, 6 days now.
Yeah. In fact, so chilly this morning that the condensation from our window fell down and froze immediately. Where are we going today?
We are doing the last bit of Georgia Traverse.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. How satisfied are you to be back on this trail?
Incredibly satisfied.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even if we don't finish it, and it's quite likely. Oh, there's a hole right there. It's still good. We're in North Georgia on the Georgia Traverse. Definitely not someone's backyard. We are not in someone's backyard. Okay. We're way in the wilderness, Middle of nowhere, not on anyone's regular street.
I know, there's a house right there.
Nope.
Right there.
Nope.
When
We're
you're
in
in
the
front yard.
We've been traveling for days in the middle of nowhere.
They literally have wood in their front yard, Alec. There's another house.
While exploring the last parts of the Georgia Traverse, we realized that my brother, who was visiting a friend in Tennessee, was only an hour and a half away. Not being able to miss this opportunity, we forego finishing the trails to meet up with him at a waterfall hike.
Feel the weight and the resistance of the earth. So when you're going up, it's like you really have to push going up.
Right.
And when you're going down, you have to maintain yourself and make sure you don't spiral out of control because you can feel the weight now pushing back on you.
Yeah. Having her first mountain passes out of the way, Natalie got us to our next stop at the North Mills Campground, where we plan to stay for a while. As we were getting settled, the park manager came to talk to us about an error with our National Parks Pass.